Shouldn't more apps be going by way of as these specifics that Mariella is really talking about? Because if you're on the apps to find a match, if it's for because you're looking for marriage or you just want to hook up, you don't want to weed through a bunch of people that aren't your type.
Exactly. And the thing with the transgender websites is historically those apps have been for chasers or for fetishizing us. And we're looking for relationships just like everybody else. But for my experiment, I had gone out to Meet Me, Match, Tinder, and OKCupid. OKCupid is the only one that allowed for that gender variation. However, I went out there as a woman and didn't mention my trans status. All the other sites don't allow you to do that. You're either a man or you're a woman, and you're looking for a man or a woman. Again, so that the flexibility for OKCupid was really kind of cool. Unfortunately, when I said that I was looking for both or that I was bisexual or pansexual, within my first week, I had 300 messages, all from men, and one message from a woman. So it's still male dominated when it comes to finding a relationship and or when it comes to people contacting you. Like I said, I'm pansexual, so I'll date, men, women, gender variant. But getting 300 responses within a week, all from men and all basically just saying hi or how's it going, really isn't an option that is great.
Ugh, and those poor guys need some help with those pickup lines anyway. Sure. Just leading with hi or hey, what's up? So not getting us anywhere, right?
Right, exactly. And what I noticed on Tinder's fun. There's a lot of swiping left on Tinder, but when you do swipe right, there's you get quite a few matches. But I noticed the rule of Tinder. The rule of Tinder is within 5 lines of communicating with someone, they want to add you immediately. So it's, hi, how's it going? What are you doing today? Do you want to do this? No, I don't. And then they kind of disappear, and then that's the end of that. So Tinder, I found for trans people and or for women is mostly evolved around picking up and hooking up and not relation-oriented. Whereas OKCupid was great to find somebody if you could find them and if they were willing to accept you after about 2 or 3 days of conversation.
And Claire, to have been forced to pick, to check off a gender box, if you do make it to the, out of the digital realm and in person, there's a lot of explaining that. Did you feel like you had to do right off the bat? Like, hey, I wish I could have explained this better out of the gates so that we don't have to have this conversation right now.
There'll be some controversy behind what I say, but my birth certificate says female. I had that changed. My driver's license says female. So I went out there as a woman. I didn't go out there as a trans person. Prior to meeting somebody, in 90% of the cases, after 3, 4, 5 days of talking, and they got to know my awesome personality, and they got to see more pictures of me, they were like, hey, do you want to go out? And I did. But I would say, hey, you need to know that I'm transgender. And sadly, they would either A, block me, or B, say, do you have boy parts or girl parts? And, that's a tough question to ask, especially if you don't just randomly walk up to the mailman and say, hey, do you have boy parts or girl parts? Because it's not something you're asking somebody every single day.